So I'm John Vaughn. This is my YouTube channel. Got some social media channels, maybe not all the same social media channels that you have, because I am not particularly a very social person. But this is the second day of the semester. Should be my last year, and I would already be done with this and actually in my second semester of grad school if it wasn't for the fact that they make jails and they make laws, and society has decided to abide in a way that where regardless of whether you yourself think this is wrong, if you do it, you're punished for that and you go there. So got a new project this semester, and basically this new project was really supposed to start yesterday, but I didn't make a video because, like everything, I got a late start because it's personal and not business, but it kind of has to do with business too. So this new project, I'll tell you all about it. My YouTube channel and the videos that I make are no longer for anybody but me. So these videos are actually just for me until I graduate. I'm gonna make one every day and upload it. If you watch it, if you like it, if you comment, that's cool, and I might look at your comments to get inspiration, or reassure myself that there's a reason that I want to computer chip everybody in the world, and I want to be able to understand human emotion, behavior, thought processes, intelligence, cognitive capacity, neurological activity that controls other things in our body, regulations, muscular spasms, stuff like that. But anyways, these videos are for me to prioritize things that I need to do. So they need to be kinda to the point where I'm able to make a good priority list of what I need to do and keep an update on that, and be able to go back to every so often and watch and keep myself on track of how I'm thinking versus how at the same time I'm evolving in my thought. And right now I'm working on building a proof of concept, okay, to prove to one of my professors, who's actually my favorite professor, that as a person I love him because he's given me personal inspiration, which is something that is very valuable to me, even though I refuse to follow a model of society where I want to subject myself to being in a closed simulation in a specific area of what's considered rational thought, because of the true nature of observable reality. And what that means, and I was just talking to a friend about it, what that means is I understand enough about everything to come to a conclusion of the deficiencies in my own brain and how my brain's operating, and not just the particular deficiencies that affect me, myself, individual, and as an individual basis, but also on a scale of humanity where I'm only able to process in my brain naturally such a pattern of thought and such a observation based on things that I'm really able to observe without further technology, like the things that I'm able to see with my eyes, and the quantified unit of time that I decide to measure that. And I understand that there's a need to not think so much and fall into society, because that's obviously how society operates. Fortunately, whether it's because God's created me and endowed and blessed in me an ability to think outside the box, or that let's say an alien's created me and I'm able to think differently, or I am part alien and I've reached a state of conscious enlightenment where I'm able to basically operate inside my brain, but also at the same time operate outside my brain on a cosmic conscious wave, an entangled form of energy. So I don't think personally that I need to limit myself to thinking in the way that you, the majority, assume is normal and assume is reality, and even the outliers assume is normal and natural. And I like to be able to think differently, and I like to be able to understand more complexly the mechanism in which I operate, because that's why I think I was created, or why I think I'm here, or that's just how I'm programmed. That is just how I exist. I exist to think, and I exist to operate. There's a lot of things I need to do this semester, and I know that one of them is get things off my chest and take advice more often, from people, and listen to people's perspective, but at the same time expand my way of thinking and continue to venture in that, because that's really important to me, to be able to. And sometimes I feel personally that I feel that I don't feel, because I don't necessarily believe that there are feelings, or that they are necessarily real. Believe that they could be defined as real, and we could say that they are feelings because maybe we feel them, but they may not actually be there. So it's hard to say that I feel the need to just understand everything, because I may not feel, but I am programmed. I do feel this. I want to understand this magic that allows me to be here, that this mechanism that keeps me in place, because that's important to me. I mean, yeah, sure, I guess in a way it does make a lot of sense for that not to be important to me, because maybe I do just live and die. But at the same time when I die, if I just die and I'm nothing, well then I'm just nothing. But that's hard for me to believe, for lots of different reasons. That's not really the purpose of this video. But really, these videos have no purpose other than for me to make them. This is the new Think Vaughn project, and it's just me making videos that I want to make that are for me. And if you do not like them, that is fine. I have agreed to the terms and service of this form of social media, and I have granted you the right to put your comment and your opinion in a form underneath this video, and you're free to do that. I might look at those comments, I might not. I can't operate in the world. So I did make it my vow to be a better person and be more likable. Wow. I think I know some things that I need to do. And one of the things that I really want to do real quick is do my own proof of concept for one of my professors. And it's basically just build a really simple static redirect page. So an index.html page that uses a JavaScript engine to get the geolocation of the user, redirect that user to index.php, which is a server-side PHP page that takes the geolocation as a variable and then returns a page based on that geolocation as a parameter. It's going to be a very simple proof of concept, so it will probably only display a page that is unique in the fact that it displays that geolocation. Now, what does that mean conceptually? That means conceptually, if you have an incentive, then what you can do is you can hook that geolocation up to a database of information about particular databases. So let's say, for example, me, in my geolocation for my business, I can put people coming from around my local area, my local region, where I'm able to offer certain technology services that I don't actually offer outside a specific geolocation. I can take those individuals and put them to one site that gives them information about those services that are available to them, what I can do to them, and what I can do for them and with them, and different things that I'm able to assist them with. So just a website for them based on how close they are to my radius and what my business operates in. And then outside of that, if you're outside of that radius, I can redirect you to another page that focuses on the different services that I'm able to offer you in that geolocation, because those are virtual services that I can offer you online, like software development and virtualization of your web services, your hosting accounts, managing your sites, or even managing your infrastructure and hooking everything up. Some things would require a contractor to go out and initially set machines up where everything's hooked into them, and that's actually not that hard if you have a good proof of concept there, but we're not making one of those right now. This is just going to be a proof of concept that takes a geolocation, and depending on the geolocation, gives you redirects you to another page that can potentially display targeted information based on that geolocation. Pretty cool proof of concept. Time estimation on this proof of concept, 3 hours, 5 hours. So, other than that, I need to read 3 chapters of chemistry. Don't really need to read any stats or anything, so that's no big deal. I need what else do I need to do? I need to clean out my printer, get my printer taken care of. God, I need to get shit off my chest too. This was something that I really need to do, but I need to focus. I don't like living in this world where I'm limited. I don't like being limited. That is very aggravating to me. And things aren't so simple. And they will never be so simple inside my head. You can't force them to be. You can tell me how simple they should be, and you can tell me how simple I should make them, which I can't make them unless I can. But it doesn't seem like I can because they're not simple. I can't think of things in simple terms unless it's simple, and then I don't really think about it. I subconsciously process it because it's just too simple. So, I can do, and that's one of the downfalls to being me that not a lot of people know, because I don't really tell people this information because people don't know how to react to this, and they don't really even understand it. So, and why even try to explain it to somebody? But since these videos are for me and not you, and I know you're not even watching this, I don't mind, and really, I wouldn't mind to anybody, because I love all people. I really do love everybody, and my goal in life would just be to make a utopia and make everybody happy, but also, and the way that you make everybody happy and you achieve an ultimate utopia and an ultimate equilibrium, also have everybody be enlightened and really, I don't know, come to some fucking harmony where we're here, what are we doing here? Or, I mean, I would if I could push a button and just everybody be satisfied at once. Sure, go for it. But it's just not the society that we live in. And I know people judge me, and I know people judge me based on my persona and based on what I allow out there, which is based on how I view the world. I've decided a long time ago, I guess really when I was little, that acting smart and really, I guess it's not acting smart, just being smart and thinking about intellectual things and only really caring about things that are stimulating to you mentally because they allow you to grow in the understanding that you have. I learned early on that there's a discrimination for that's different than any type of other discrimination, which there's lots of types of discrimination. So, somebody gave me this earlier. This is share a Coke with a star. And if you want to think about it in a more complex way, I really am just a star, Any way I think about it, I'm not going to get into that because I don't double conversations. So, I wish I knew everybody in the world, and I wish I really could take the time to talk to everybody and understand everybody's feelings and let everybody know that I do love them, and they can think that I love them. I may not actually love them because there may not actually be love. That may be all simulated. There may be actually nothing here. And if I want to think about it this way, there's actually most certainly nothing here more than there is something here. That just depends on my variation of time. So I can't be put in a box. And sometimes when people talk to me, just the way that I am makes it hard to communicate sometimes, because a lot of times when people talk to me, I'm not consciously aware that I'm talking to you, or that I'm listening to you, or that I'm having a conversation with you. And that seems kind of hard to believe sometimes, and that also seems really weird or like a crazy trait, but I don't think it's a crazy trait. I think that my brain's developed the ability because I think differently and my brain operates differently. Basically, really, because if you run an EKG on me, or like a protein scan, you'll see that my neural networks and the firing of my neurons is just kind of weird. So, very, very unsimulated things and very scripted things I'm able to do subconsciously, and at the same time be on a thought experiment, and the best way that I can explain it is on some cosmic journey where I'm just gone and I'm on a cosmic wave function. I'm floating through the universe. I'm everywhere. I'm just gaining more understanding and widening my perspective and my horizons in the way that I look at things. And I guess if I was just a psychologist, or just a therapist, or just a sociologist, that I might come to a certain conclusion of that. But if I was not only educated in those fields, but in also other fields, complex neuroscience, and quantum physics, computer engineering, I could also derive different conclusions. So I don't know what to do sometimes, and I definitely don't understand how to act sometimes, other than just be me. And I really don't care. I do care, sure, yeah, I do care, and I do love you, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm not scared to tell you that I love you. Everybody. I don't particularly care what color you are, what your sexual preference is. I really don't even particularly care your frame of morals, because I don't think that you're actually given a frame of morals. I think that's just something that you have that differs. And just because I can tell as an individual, I justify everything that I do. And I've reached a conclusion where I didn't think it was the wrong thing to do because I did it. So I don't know how to act, especially whenever I don't even really know that we talk sometimes, because I'm not really part of that conversation. I guess it seems like I am part of that conversation because I'm there and I'm speaking to you. And I could apologize, I guess, and tell you that I'm sorry that my brain operates in a way at which sometimes my subconscious can carry out the functions that is usually left for my conscience, like actively controlling my vocal systems and my movements, while my actual conscience is some other place. So it's not hard for me really to explain because I think I understand it. I think I'm on some cosmic wave function. I think that I'm processing information at a higher level. And by higher level, I mean I'm just getting outside my container and stepping into a larger container, and not at the same time I'm looking back at my container, also looking at the container I'm in, and looking from it on both sides while I'm looking outside that container, and just infinitely doing that and trying to see reality from every possible perspective, you know. And although I love everybody, I hate everybody because love may not actually be real. I have to consider that an option. So I do obviously have to consider that it is an option that love is real, which makes a valid conclusion, which is why I feel like I love everybody. But just because I feel like I love everybody doesn't mean I actually love everybody, and doesn't necessarily give rise and produce feelings. So both possibilities. Sure, the fact that feelings are real may seem more likely, but I have no real proof that this isn't a simulation. So I'm going to go with the fact that it's not a simulation, but because even a simulation, even if you simulate it, if it's able to be there and be simulated, maybe it can change the simulation. Don't know. So I guess the new thinkvaughn project, if you care about it, you can watch these videos. I know what it is, and it's to restructure my life and organize my life, because I need to graduate college and I need to really buckle down and focus and do what some people say I should do, which is just do it and think and make it different. Even though it's really hard to do that, because it's like I'm stepping back into the veil, because it's beneficial to me to step into the veil, you know. I'm escaping persecution. I'm taking the easy road by stepping back into the veil and not deciding to let my brain really try to understand what's really going on. So but I do need to do that in a way. I do need to get it together. It just seems hard to me. It seems hard to me to get it together, because there's so much to get together, because I can get together everything that you want me to. And I'm still getting nothing together. That's really, I feel all your desires, because your desires are really, really nominal. You know, you want nominal things, and you know who you are. You're society. You're the what we want to call normality, what's being projected to us. So I don't live in that box. I've never been in that box. I'm not going to get in that box. I may allow the veil that covers that box to also cover me, but I don't even like that veil. I don't like the veil covering that veil. I don't like any of the veils, and there's always a veil. And I need information. That's how I'm programmed. I need information. And that doesn't cope well with society, because I don't really care about anything else. Because that's what I'm made for. And I don't want to die. I want to transcend my consciousness and achieve information at a very higher level, because I feel like that's my purpose. Even though I'm not fully convinced that there are feelings, or that I'm even real, because I'm not fully convinced of that. And that may sound crazy, but that's just being honest. I'm pretty convinced that I'm real, but I'm not fully convinced that I'm real. You will never be able to fully convince me that I am a real thing and I am not a simulation. So, and if you are fully convinced, well, there's some things that I could say to you about that I wouldn't want you to take offensive, because I wouldn't want you to be offended of me. Actually, if you want the truth, I really wouldn't care if you were offended of me, because I just wouldn't. Most people are, because they don't understand me. But I don't understand most people, because it's like, you're part of the same magical system. You're part of the same magical system as me. Obviously, we're like the same thing, and you look at it completely different. You look at it completely different than what I do, and then want to tell me that I'm crazy and that I'm nuts because I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's true, and that's real in your perspective, in your limited perspective that you has as you an individual, or you a human organism, in your mental capacity and your limitations that you have without technology. But that doesn't mean that you have the full grasp of reality. I'm not saying that what you think is real isn't real. I'm saying that maybe it's not real, because that's not all of reality. That's really just one small part of an interconnected cosmic reality. So it's hard to get outside my head, and I don't really want to get outside my head, because I want to understand. I want to understand my mechanism. I want to understand my creator. I want to understand the system that I'm in, because I'm in it. And I understand you're in it too, and you're able to be in this system any way that you want. But I want to understand this system. I don't just want to be in a system. I don't want to just have the ability to be conscious and, think and be aware and be alive. I want to understand that, and I want to know, if I have that ability, where does that come from? How is that operating? And how can I really explain that? Because that's what every molecule inside my body feels like doing. Probably because every molecule inside my body has some quantum entanglement with every other thing that we know to exist, and deeply feels that interconnection. Just for the simple fact that I'm consciously aware, and I know that it's there. It has to be there. So I do feel like I love myself. I definitely love myself. I do need to be a better person, though, and do better things, and really adjust my attitude, and really adjust the way that I allow people to perceive me, because of my ultimate goal. And that also seems like a step back to me in a way, because that seems like I would be painting a false picture, because that's not even really who I am. I want to achieve my goal, and I want everybody to be happy, but at the same time, fuck you, I don't care if you're happy while I'm on my quest. When I'm fucking done, everybody's going to be happy, because that's all I really want, is everybody to be happy. Everybody to be happy. But while I'm achieving that, I don't care if fucking anybody's happy, because you're just part of a system. You're not that system. You didn't even create yourself in that